When the seemingly invincible Ted Whitten contracted prostate cancer, most believed that the legend of the western suburbs would steamroll straight over the top of it like he did everything else in his life. But this was one opponent that EJ would not be able to get the better of. And by mid-1995, he was gravely ill. With his beloved Vics set to host South Australia at the MCG, what better stage for the football world to say goodbye to Mr. Football? The result was arguably our game's most magical moment.
It was the most emotional moment that I've seen at the football. There have been lots of highlights at the football, but I think we're all sons, husbands, wives, daughters, and that family aspect there of young Ted cradling his father, and you could see that Ted Senior was dying, and that I'll never forget that moment at the MCG.
Just the strength he showed, the love to his son, he had his grandchildren in the car with him, and everyone there was on his side, yet all he wanted us to do was stick it up him. I went to see him 6 weeks before he died, out at his home near Footscray where he played all his footy. I went with Mike Sheehan, Trevor Grant, two Herald Sun journalists, and Bill Cannon. And he had, by that stage, he'd lost his sight, he'd had a stroke. But as we walked in, we introduced ourselves and he threw his arm around us and shook hands. The grip was still the same.
We went out, sat in his kitchen, talked about Gary Ablett, talked about football. And I'm going to struggle with this, but the moment when we left and just the big hug from EJ, and he knew that was the last time that we'd see each other. And I just never forget when I said, we've got to go. And it was, I think momentarily he'd forgotten where he was at in his life, and he was just reliving the memories, and he was as bold as ever. And I said, EJ, we've got to go, mate. And with all the little strength that he had left, he mustered that, and he says, righto then, piss off. And that was just Whitten, you know. I mean, even at that point, it wasn't the softness about him, it was just the bravado. And it was just a very moving occasion for all of us who were there.
There was no fear. He was facing death as he faced an opponent on the football field head on.